Another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we will get an update on this year's performances that are planned by the Quincy Symphony Orchestra. The president and the conductor are both here. They'll be joining us shortly. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's beautiful. It's sunny. It's 43 degrees. Light winds. It's the calm before the storm, so enjoy it. Today's highs will top off in the upper 40s, might touch 50 degrees some locations this afternoon. Clouds increase this evening. Lows drop off into the lower 30s, setting us up for our winter storm tomorrow with heavy snow and gusty winds. The storm will roll in the early morning hours and ramp up through the midday hours. Highs tomorrow into the mid-30s. We're looking at potential for occasional blizzard conditions with the winds and accumulations of anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow in our area by tomorrow evening. The snow will taper off throughout the midday and afternoon hours, should come to an end tomorrow night, and temperatures tomorrow night will drop into the mid-20s, so anything that does fall will freeze solid, and it won't melt for the rest of this week, really. Wednesday, we return to partial sunshine. Still rather chilly with highs Wednesday only into the low 30s. A little milder on Thursday with lots of sunshine. Highs Thursday into the upper 30s, and already they're talking about a little more snow for Thursday night. So enjoy today. Lots of sunshine, 43 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking out news for you today. Students won't begin using the new Rick DeCristofaro Early Learning Center in Quincy until sometime this summer. Officials say that a plan to begin moving students into the center on Old Colony Avenue this winter has been changed after parents said they didn't want to move their students in the middle of the school year. The center on Old Colony Avenue was dedicated last October. It'll provide space for 350 students with autism to receive specialized instruction. The city purchased that building from Eastern Nazarene College and converted it into the Early Learning Center named after the current president of Quincy College, Rick DeCristofaro, who also served as longtime Quincy Public Schools superintendent. The majority of students in the new center will come from the De La Chiesa Early Learning Center, which may then be used for pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, or early childhood development programs. A proposal for a new 4-story, 9-unit condo complex on Independence Avenue in South Quincy was delayed again last week at the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. The applicant wants to create this new development at the site of the Quincy Auto Tech Shop. It includes 23 parking spaces, but neighbors, including the historic Adams birthplaces right across the street, object, saying the project will make it too difficult for visitors to the historic site to park in that area. And others worry about increased traffic at that busy intersection. The new building would also have 23 parking spaces and 1 ground floor retail spot. The proponents have agreed to rework the plan, come back before the zoning board on March 26th. Catherine Craven, who chairs the Massachusetts Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, is going to be the guest speaker at Quincy College's 66th commencement exercises on Friday, May 17th at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Quincy. Craven's currently the Chief Administrative Officer at Babson College, is also a member of the Quincy College Board of Governors. Craven has served as Executive Director of the Massachusetts School Building Authority, Executive Director of the UMass Building Authority, was Budget Director for the House Ways and Means Committee. She earned a BA in History from Harvard. Quincy College President Rick DeCristofaro said he looks forward to Craven's commencement address that will draw on her personal and professional experiences to inspire the graduates. 356 endangered sea turtles have been treated at the New England Aquarium Sea Turtle Hospital at the Quincy Shipyard so far this season. The staff have treated Kemp's Ridley and Loggerhead sea turtles that became stranded on Cape Cod beaches over the past few months as the ocean waters cooled. 303 of those turtles have been treated and released into warmer southern waters. However, 53 turtles are still undergoing extensive treatment for hypothermia, dehydration, and infections. Turtles become cold stunned when they're trapped by the hook of the Cape as the waters cool off in the fall and winter. Volunteers rescue the turtles from the beaches and bring them to the Quincy facility for treatment. more volunteers then transport the treated turtles to warmer southern waters. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, we sit down with the president and the conductor of the Quincy Symphony Orchestra and find out what they have planned for 2024. That's next. Welcome back. The Quincy Symphony Orchestra is in its 75th concert season this year, and there are 3 performances scheduled for the 2024 season, and we're going to learn all about them from the president and the conductor. Brian Hickox and Yuichi Utagawa are in studio. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Happy New Year for having us here.
First time for the new year, but hopefully not the last. Brian, before we start about the upcoming concerts this year, how did the holidays for the symphony go?
Well, we just finished the beginning of December, 'Tis the Season, which is a collaborative concert with the Quincy Public Schools. And that's when we have the youngsters come sit amongst us, and it's always a joy. The attendance, the support for the community partnership with the Quincy Public Schools and the businesses. It's just a great fabric that we've been encountering year in and year out.
Yeah, it's one of it's. I mean, we love all our concerts, but in some ways it's the most, if I can say the word, meaningful or something, you know, because it's great to have the young people there. And the partnership with the schools has just turned out to be, I like to hope that it's a win-win for everyone, and we certainly feel privileged to be part of it.
Well, yeah, it really gets to the root of what a community symphony is, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Sharing and having fun and learning, and that learning component, I think, is for people who play in community orchestras. It's a huge, I think, for our audiences too. For all of us. And education doesn't end in school, right? It keeps going.
Yeah. And, well, you mentioned the audiences. I mean, they get to see members of their own community, maybe their children, grandchildren, or neighbors performing, you know, for their own community.
Yeah.
So how rewarding is that?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And also, the North Quincy Combined Band has just grown by leaps and bounds.
The teachers,
they've made great advancements.
Oh,
in
the teachers
past few
here
years.
are amazing in Quincy. They're doing an amazing job, and every year the students seem to get better. Yeah.
And you know, Eugene, because you conduct other community orchestras, so you kind of can see, right?
Oh, yeah.
How things are progressing, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. So it must be rewarding for you too.
It is, and intimidating. We like to. We just had a youth competition, the Eleanor Nelson Youth Competition, 2 weekends ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had about 11 students come and play, and it just jaw-dropping how talented the young people are today. It's always been good, but every year gets better.
Is that right? Yeah.
It does. And you go, how can it get better?
How can it get better?
How can it get better? And when we think about when we were their age, the level, you can't even compare it.
Yeah, well, I know we've talked about this before. It's that they have greater access to the material, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. They can hear all the great recordings instantly. They can see videos. They know what high-level playing is, right? When we were kids, like when I was growing up in Texas, it was hard to see what a great performer was like, or to hear it. You had to go buy a record, or you couldn't see it on television.
Right.
Today, young people can see it on phones. They have examples of all the greatest performers, living and from the past, instantaneously on their phones or iPads or computers.
Do you worry, though, that they only try and emulate those and not become kind of their own musician?
No, because there's something about young talent. It's just you can't stop it.
Joe, I think there's a progression there. You know, in the beginning stages of learning a piece or in one's development as a musician, you know, certainly we look towards models. You know, our idols or whatever they might be. And yes, we replicate that, but there are so many different ones that we take a little bit of flavor from each and we become our own self. And then once mastery comes, that's when that customization and that style, that individuality individual style of that musician, that artistry really comes out.
Yes, yes. I'm glad you pointed that out. That's a good point. You would know because you are a member of the symphony and have been for many years, right?
That's so true. However, at the solo competition that we just conducted for youngsters, what we call the Youth Performs Concert, which we'll do the end of April, I spoke to Yoichi and said, I don't know that we'd want to be up there in competition with this.
No
Right.
way.
Right.
We wouldn't stand a chance.
By the way, who won?
Well, yes, so we have a violinist who performed the Prokofiev Violin Concerto No. 1. An absolutely fantastic job.
Incredible.
Her name is Claire Lee, and so she'll be the recipient of our scholarship, which we give out annually
Oh, that's
to the
great.
winner of the Eleanor Nelson Concerto competition. And the scholarship is from our scholarship fund named after Robert Brown, who was a longtime conductor of the Quincy Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, okay, very nice. So that concert is April 28th, Sunday, April 28th, 2:30 at Quincy High School.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So we'll be performing that piece.
Nice.
And it's tricky for the orchestra. We were
it
like,
is?
oh my gosh.
Got to start practicing now.
We got to start practicing. We don't want to embarrass ourselves in front of this young winner. You know?
Okay. Do you know where Claire is from? Is she from the area?
She is from the area. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember where she lives.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
We were just mesmerized by her playing.
Wow. So how do you,
As we were with so many of the
Yeah.
the performers.
is that right?
Yeah.
How do you kind of reach out, to gather the
Yep.
contestants?
One of our musicians, Ro Hinkle, she is our principal flute player. She has taken the reins
see.
of overseeing that competition, reaches out to music teachers and various network, and we invite the youngsters to apply.
Yes. Okay. So do you know how many applicants you had roughly?
We had 11.
Okay. Oh, you did. Okay.
I think actually we had a few more than that. A couple had to drop out at the last
Okay.
one, but yeah, and you know, it's we've been doing this competition for decades now, so the teachers do know that it's coming around.
Okay, sure.
And
So
they
they look
want
for
their,
it.
yeah, they look forward to it, and they want to send students. And it's a real opportunity for young people to get a chance to play with an orchestra.
Right.
That just doesn't happen every day.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
it's exciting for them, I hope, and it's certainly exciting for us, and I hope we can keep up.
And as Yoichi has said, we've been doing it for decades, well, almost
Yeah.
now generations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Case in point, our upcoming concert on the 25th of February,
Yes.
we'll be performing Beethoven's Triple Concerto, which is for cello, violin, and piano. That piece was performed first with Quincy Symphony Orchestra in 1971.
71.
Really?
With the winner of the youth concert concerto competition.
Of that year?
Yes, so it was the Romano brothers.
Romano Brothers,
okay.
and now Victor, the
Yes.
violinist, is in the Boston Symphony.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, that's incredible. And then his brother Myron, who's going to play the piano, is a conductor in Munich.
Wow.
In the Munich Theater,
Okay.
and a brilliant pianist.
Yep.
And the cellist, Jonah Ellsworth, is one of the newest members of the Boston Symphony, and he won the Quincy Symphony competition about 10 years ago, 2014?
2012.
2012.
So 12
okay.
years ago.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he'll return.
Yeah.
So some 50 some odd years later for Victor, and 12 years later for
Yeah.
Jonah. So it'll be a special event,
Oh, I
homecoming.
bet.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to think that so many people, you know, and we actually have had some winners move on to, we had a cellist win several years ago who is the principal cellist of the Louisville Orchestra.
Okay.
We had a clarinetist win who was playing in the Metropolitan for a while. Now she's playing in the Utah Symphony. So, you know, we get to say, hey, we knew the
I was
winner.
just
They-
going to
they were
say,
part of the
remember,
Quincy Symphony
remember
family.
when? Yeah. Well, that's actually, it's very nice.
It-
How long have you been music director now, Yoichi?
Oh, gosh, a long time.
Brian knows.
I know. And so Yoichi's in his 29th season
Am
with
I
us.
really?
He was 10 when he started, right?
Well, and here's an interesting contemporary bit of news parallel
Yes.
of the longest-serving Boston Symphony Orchestra conductor, Seiji Ozawa.
Just passed away. Yeah.
He just passed away. He served 29 years in that role.
Uh-oh.
Right.
So Yoichi's our venerable conductor. You know. We don't want to ever call him emeritus, though. We just want
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
Had either one of you ever met Seiji Ozawa?
I
Yeah.
actually studied with him
Did you
many
really?
decades ago.
Really?
Yeah, and he was a mentor, and he was a remarkable inspiration.
Yeah.
He was a great teacher. Was very generous.
Yeah.
He made some opportunities available for me to study in Germany,
Oh, how nice.
and also
Wow.
in Japan. And I hadn't been in touch with him a long time.
Sure.
But he was an amazing. You just. And if right now you can see a lot of films of him conducting
Yes.
on YouTube and
Yes.
things like
Yeah.
that, and it brings back a lot of memories.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
He
yeah.
seemed like a genuine person, too.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
real, down to earth.
Oh, and just the discipline. I have to say, I'm sorry to say, I don't quite have that. But he was an amazing inspiration.
Yes.
I think a lot of inspiration to a lot of young conductors of my generation
Sure.
who had the opportunity to study with him
Yeah.
or saw him. Yeah.
And so we're fortunate in Quincy Symphony Orchestra that a little piece of Seiji made its way
Well,
to
that's
Yoichi
exactly right.
and now makes it into us. and so, it's about legacy.
Yes.
And that's what we talk about with the Quincy Symphony Orchestra. Some of our recent initiatives that you and I have chatted about,
Yes.
The endowment of,
Yes.
of some of the chairs. For the city of Quincy, we have such great history, music history. I was just reading an article about Charles Bean Music on Hancock Street, where my mom 50 years ago bought me a trumpet. And he played in the Quincy Symphony
that
Orchestra
right?
so many decades ago.
Wow.
Well, with this endowment program, what we're doing is each of the chairs, the musicians, their chair will be named after someone who presents an endowment.
Okay.
And that first endowment we're about to announce in our upcoming concert. So
Oh.
prior to that concert, I'll be honored to acknowledge the person who has endowed the first chair, and that chair will be endowed in perpetuity.
Oh, that's super. Wow.
Yeah, so
Can
it's
you reveal that now, Brian, or do you want to
we'll
hold
do,
off?
We'll do that at the
You wanna
concert.
wait?
That's right.
All right. I know that if folks are interested in that, you want them to contact you directly?
Yes, it's a very personal thing for many of us, that we're endowing that chair with a sizable gift,
Okay.
a financial gift, and whether that is to be in honor of someone or in memory of someone or as a legacy for a family or even businesses. So it's a really personal, a personal gift.
Okay.
So I work hand in hand, firsthand with them, and so they can call my number directly, and we'll have a chat about how that's structured.
Okay, very
I'd be
good.
very happy to do that.
Speaking of that concert, it's classical concert number 2, right? It'll be a Sunday, February 25th, 2:30 p.m. at North Quincy High School in the auditorium. And Yoichi, you mentioned a little bit about what the show will entail, but what does the program look like?
So the program, we're starting off with a piece by Mendelssohn, his Fingal's Cave Hebrides Overture. So it's a musical description of his visit to Scotland.
Oh.
And I think everybody knows the beginning. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 da. It's supposed to describe the sea, and then it gets a little stormier. And then we're doing a piece by Gabriel Fauré, a French composer, his Péléas and Mélisande suite. Péléas and Mélisande, like all love stories, is it doesn't end well.
You have to have a romantic tragedy,
It's
right?
not a happy ending, and the music reflects that. But
Okay.
it's beautiful music.
Okay.
I think people who don't know it might recognize at least one or two of the tunes.
Okay.
Because they're pretty well known, and they
Okay.
get played a lot. And then after intermission, we're doing this Beethoven Triple Concerto with the Romano
That you
brothers
mentioned, you're right,
and
yeah.
Jonah Ellsworth, and that is not to be missed.
Okay.
These are, you hear the world's world class, right? And that gets often overused, but these musicians are truly world class.
Well, as evident by their background, their pedigree, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't get into the BSO unless you're just at the absolute top of the game.
Yes.
And we discussed earlier, there's so much talent today. And then out of the top talent, you have these few people
Right.
who
Right. Yes.
And it's tough to get
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Many of the musicians in the Boston Symphony Orchestra, it's a lifetime position. There's nothing better to go to.
There's nothing
So
better. Yeah.
Jules
yeah.
Erskine, the principal cellist for the PSO, was in that chair for 50 years.
Wow.
There is a bass player who's, I believe, in his 52nd season.
Is that
goodness,
right?
wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So you hold on to those.
I was just going to say,
So it's tough to get in.
and once you're in, you want to stay.
yeah, no, it's one of the you know, it's like being a Patriot for life, right?
Yes.
Like playing on the New England Patriots
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. I mean, it's just the top of the profession.
The family concerts is always a crowd pleaser, right? It's
Yes.
Sunday, March 24th at 2:30.
Is it March 25th?
It says the 24th from your
Okay.
website.
Okay.
It's a Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the Sunday
Yeah,
is.
whatever that
That
Sunday
Sunday.
is. And we have a phenomenal narrator coming to narrate Peter and the Wolf, everybody's favorite Prokofiev piece. Incredible narrator. I think you might know him quite well.
He's better heard than seen. I can tell you that. But thank you for the opportunity to.
No,
work at
thank
the
you for
Symphony.
agreeing to come do it. We did it with you a couple of years
Yes.
ago, and you were fantastic. The kids loved it, so we're going to do it again. Yeah.
The funnest part of that for me was the instrument petting zoo before the concert action. That was a blast. Because Brian, talk about that. That's something unique. Yeah.
So it's an hour before we start our 2:30 p.m. concert,
Yeah.
and the kids get to not only come see the actual musicians of the Quincy Symphony firsthand, they get to see the instrument, they get to try the instruments. It's so fun to see the wide-eyed curiosity on their faces.
That was me. No, but there is something special if you're not, in touch with instruments on a daily basis or on a frequent basis, to actually see a saxophone, or a violin. Oh yeah, that's how that makes that sound. It's from
true.
that instrument. Yeah. Trumpet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there.
Yes.
No, they're not sure which valves to press down, but they have fun doing it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's a short concert, right, Yoichi?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is. It's about 45 minutes to
Okay.
50 minutes long. So it's for families.
Right,
Bring
yeah.
children. Yeah.
Come
Bring-
one, come all.
Bring the
Yeah.
kids, bring the
Yeah.
grandkids,
Sure.
and don't be concerned about them making noise during the concert.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea, right?
Exactly.
There's always like a low drone during those concerts, yeah. But it's great. It's great. Come one and all, you're welcome,
Yeah.
and come enjoy it. And we're looking forward to that.
So, and then finally, we mentioned the third classical concert is Sunday, April 28th, at 2:30. This one is at Quincy High School at
Yes,
the White
it
Hill
is.
Performing
Yeah.
Arts Center. Okay, and it's the winner.
And
of
it's the winner
Eleanor.
of and she'll be playing Prokofiev, and we're also doing a symphony by Tchaikovsky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
as,
yeah,
as,
yeah.
as
Yeah,
an
it's a
aside.
small little piece.
Just a little,
It's
war horse.
Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, and it's a pretty big piece.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But it's exciting. It's exciting. Audiences love it, and we musicians love playing it. Yeah.
Very familiar themes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And that will wrap it up for this concert season.
That's
It's-
correct. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
And Brian, this is, as I mentioned, the 75th concert season.
Yoichi and I just talked about that, and
Yeah.
it seems to go faster each year. That it's
Yes.
the next one, the next one. We were just chatting that when we were younger, the philosophy was, are we there yet? It's taking so long. As we get a little bit older, things
What's the rush?
accelerate.
What's the rush?
So, anything special planned for this year's concert season?
You mean the following? You mean in the fall? Starting in the
Yes.
fall?
Yeah.
We were working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We got some good ideas. Yeah.
Hopefully, you'll get the outdoor concert in this year. It was a total washout last year.
Oh, that was so unfortunate.
Yeah.
We were there ready to go.
Oh, I know.
You were there.
Yes.
You were there.
I was looking forward to it, yeah.
But you can't control the weather, unfortunately.
Yeah. Brian, when you're here, I always like to ask you, what does the symphony need in terms of players?
Well, it's interesting because we just have had a young student referred by, in the Quincy school system, referred by their teacher,
Oh.
and they'll be joining us. This is our second season with a cellist from Quincy High School.
Very nice.
And so becoming permanent members, and as we talk about the venerable institution, we have some. I won't mention their ages,
Okay.
but some 55 years ago they were in middle school.
Okay.
and so you can do the math, and I
Yes.
won't mention their names, but they were middle school students playing with the Quincy Symphony Orchestra.
Really?
So, so with these young musicians coming from the public school system here and joining us, we look forward to a very, very long relationship over the decades with
That's
them.
super.
It's
Excellent.
it's a lot of fun.
Thank
So-
you both.
Yeah.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Joe.
We'll see you soon.
Yes, we're looking
We'll
forward
see
to
you for
working with you.
rehearsal.
Mark.
Yes, you will. Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Really beautiful. Lots of sunshine, mild temperatures in the upper 40s, light winds this afternoon. Clouds will move in this evening. Lows drop off to the lower 30s. Then we've got our winter storm for tomorrow with heavy snow, gusty winds. There may be some coastal flooding at the time of high tide about midday tomorrow. It's just going to be nasty. Temperatures in the mid-30s. Talking 8 to 12 inches of snow. By the way, trash collection in Quincy is already canceled for tomorrow, so it'll be delayed one day for the rest of the week. Wednesday looks okay. Partly sunny, lower 30s. Even better on Thursday. Maybe a little more snow on Thursday night. Thanks again to Brian Hickox, Yoichi Utagawa for joining us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Friday here on the show, Quincy Tourism Director Dagny Ashley will stop by. Meantime, check our website. It's qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news and information. There's video on demand, live streaming, and a whole lot more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.